Hello, this is Jeff Nager with AMD World Championship of Custom Bike Building. I'm standing next to Giovanni from Blacksmith Motorcycle Company, and we're looking at a very cool bike. It's called El Patron. And give us the inspiration of this bike.
This was my more updated Cholo style street cruiser. Cholo style is more of it's a Latino term for like urban gangster style cruiser. And I wanted to do it on, it's a 2003 Suzuki Volusia. I wanted to take a bike that Suzuki has sold millions of them, but nobody's really done one. And why is just incredible to me. I don't know.
And this one's certainly done.
Yeah, I would hope so, because we can't do anything more else to it.
Well, it looks cool, it looks like a great cruiser, but it's got some performance as well. Talk a little bit about the performance that you've built into this bike.
Well, it's an 800cc motor that's been stroked up. We're probably in the 840, 850s range with the CCs. We're going a 40 horsepower shot of nitrous. Bike puts out almost like 145, 150 with it. Very torquey bike. We've done the rear end final drive because it's a shaft driven bike. We toned the gear down to give us a little bit more torque out of acceleration. We did air ride suspension remote control for the rear, so you can pop it up and lower it at random.
And you got to have that with your Cholo bike.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's a Cholo thing, but also it's a performance thing. Because if you lock it up a little bit for the rear end with the progressive front springs in it, the bike will corner like a Ferrari. And that's very important because we'll do, you know, not saying where, but $1 to $1.20 on these bikes with ape hangers, and my crew kind of rides hard from my shop, so we have to make sure our bikes can handle that and be safe still.
So you can stay in the saddle?
Yeah, pretty much, hopefully.
So what you're saying is that this bike not only performs on a straight line, but it'll take a corner.
Oh no, it was made for the corner first. Straight line is easy, but hitting that turn at the end is always the hardest one.
Yeah, because you want to get through, be there, done that.
That is true. It's like the old Mustang days. Go straight line, see a corner, get on the brakes. Nah, here you just torque it down a little bit more and keep going.
All right, let's head to the front end. I love those white walls and the, tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, we're running a 21 by 2.15 wheel. Buchanan spokes helped us out with truing and doing the wheel. It's riding on a Metzler ME880 MH90 white wall. Love Metzler tires. White wall is definitely our first choice when it comes to doing any kind of performance bike. The triple tree's been raked out about 4 degrees to push the front wheel out a little bit more and also to give us a better track and trail. The whole front end has actually been acid etched by my partner Eric at Badass Etching and Chrome. So we've done the rose patterns on the down tubes, and then a kind of a spiral pattern on the headlights and fog lights. Now one thing, it looks like it's running dual fog lights, but actually the lower lights still function as running lights and turn signals. They just sit in a 4.25 inch cup. Progressive front suspension on it. You come up to the handlebars, Carlini bars, all acid etched with rose patterns. Once again, we're running RLNS upper controls. We've done the hydraulic to mechanical clutch converge for this, so here is our patented Houdini illusion bar setup. Make it look like a bicycle.
That's the very Sano look.
Yeah, I love that bicycle look. The front end is really set up really well to ride, whether you're single or two up, and to handle the corners. We're running a Harley Heritage style front fender that's been widened and stretched about 3 inches, and we machined our own upper carries for the front fender to match the shifter and the side patterns of the rest of the bike.
Now, did you cut into the frame at all?
No, we simply went off the triple tree because I didn't need that much rake in the front. To stretch out the frame really wasn't necessary. That's why I chose this particular bike, because Suzuki set the frame up really well to be a performance bike, because the 800cc motors are known to be very torquey. So a lot of the hassle we had to put in reinforcing the frame, Suzuki already did for us.
Now I noticed that you got a picture of your grandfather in the Speedo.
I wish. That is Pablo Escobar.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he is
I've heard that name.
Right, he's a national hero for us in Colombia, because I'm originally from Medellin, Colombia. And Patron being his first title name, being the boss, I just thought it was more appropriate to bring him into the bike.
Very nice. Let's take a look at those exhaust pipes. You always have a nice look to those. You're always doing something kind of interesting. Talk about those.
Yeah, that was a cross design between Frankie Serrano from FSD Exhaust and Chip from CCS Choppers. Frankie did the pipe layout, Chip did the tips with our, once again, trucker flappers that we love so much. Easy Garcia from Easy Garcia Engraving did these heat shields for us with the rose patterns engraved all in them. I wanted to go more acid etch on this particular bike because we've done engraving on other bikes in the past, but I still wanted to bring the pure Cholo engraving style back to the bike because the acid etch is still kind of new and people are getting accustomed to it, they think it's really cool, but it freaks them out because they don't realize that it doesn't damage the chrome. You can't buff it off, polish it off. If you want to get rid of it, just re-chrome the part. So it's kind of, I'm trying to bring people up to date with everything else. And the crossover.
You're an educator.
I'm trying to be.
Right.
You know, it's hard in this business. You gotta let people know what's going on.
That's right.
And then the biggest thing on here is it's got like 3 ounces of gold leaf in the bike that we mix with a little bit of palladium to give us like a mid bronzy texture, because we do own a jewelry company, Blacksmith the company, so we can handle pretty much processing and casting all on gold, platinum, and palladium. So I brought that into the bike also.
Now I've seen a lot of nitro bottles, but this one with all the engraving is just very, very cool. It looks like you spent a lot of time on it, and it really adds to the whole flavor of the bike.
Yeah, all engraved with the rose patterns on it. Once again, Easy Garcia. I figured if you had to have a bottle hanging off the side of the bike, bottle better look as good as the bike.
You know, that's an easy bottle.
That is true.
That is true. All right, so what are we looking in the rear end?
Well, the rear end is shaft driven. We've done a little different gearing in it. It's got the remote control air ride, like I said before, which is really cool. The whole rear end is chrome from top to finish. There are no chrome covers there. Those are all taking parts off, stripping them down, and actually taking them to chrome. The setup is for the cylinder and air ride comes from my guy at bikerlits.net. He does really cool low-ride systems called big bore kits. The cylinder is oversized, so no matter what, when the bike is actually slammed down, you'll still come out with about a pound in it, so you'll still get a cool ride, so it won't ride like a ridge. Biker bracket is really good. He's got a couple of different systems for a lot of metric, and he appeals to metric, so that's why we use his systems.
What kind of rear fender are you running?
That actually is a modified stock Suzuki fender that we shaved, extended 3 inches down, and dovetailed.
You know, I'm thinking that if Suzuki came out with something, a derivative of this bike, they'd be selling a lot more of them.
Yeah, because everyone loves this bike, and when I mess them up, they think it's a Yamaha because we use a Yamaha Roadstar rear tail light, because I want that teardrop feel for old school classic look.
And you want people to look.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, Suzuki, the one thing Suzuki did do right on this was the tank. We didn't have to touch the tank, and that tank is huge. So that is a huge tank. Yeah, that was one of the main inspirations of picking the bike, was due to mostly the tank.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about Blacksmith. Give us an overview of your company, and I know that you have multiple companies, but they all kind of relate to each other.
Blacksmith is our main brand. Blacksmith Motoring handles all the motorcycles and cars. Blacksmith the company for the jewelry, and Blacksmith Apparel for all our matching gear, which we're doing a whole line of apparel for motorcyclists, whether it be work shirts, t-shirts, and leatherware. But the motoring side of the company, we're really trying to appeal now to the metric market. We're trying to make sure that we develop quality parts and bolt-ons to make sure that the metric guys feel as though they can compete with any other bike. That's the hardest part. A lot of companies are not giving the metric guy a lot of options. So because we own our own machine shop, Ray at StarTech helps us out, really good machinists. So anything I can think of would come through it. I know CAD CAM, so we're CNC machines. So we're trying to add that extra pizzazz to let the metric guys go. So our main course now is just to deal with metric bikes. We still do Harleys, Indians, we'll do anything with 2 wheels, but our main focus is to try to help another market grow and feel like they're equal. Because that's the whole point. You're supposed to be able to express yourself on motorcycles. And if you don't have the items to express yourself, you cannot enjoy and ride.
So you're basically the love master for metric.
Yes, I would say that. Or the ambassador.
The ambassador of love for metric.
Except I'm trying to get diplomatic plates. That way I can ride around.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want.
I kind of feel like you do that anyway.
Yeah, you know, I think I'm a pretty good complete guy. Yeah, ambassador. Yeah, I try to stay nice.
All right, so if somebody sees this bike, is interested in getting more information or maybe some accessories, what website would they go to? What number would they dial?
You would go to www.blacksmithmotoring.com. You can reach us at 888-740-2077, or find us on Facebook at both Blacksmith Motoring or Blacksmith Baggerville.
All right, well, there you go. Thanks for hitting the show. Good luck in the show.
Thank you, sir. I do appreciate it.